What's up, everybody? It's Mekel, Kasanova, Hawaii's favorite YouTuber, host of the #1 podcast in the state of Hawaii, the Kasanova podcast. And what can I say? E3 2019 was truly phenomenal. My first E3 ever. I gotta give a shout out to Victrix and PDP for giving me the opportunity to go and experience it as an industry insider, because that was such an experience. I really don't even know what to say, because I'm so super grateful for the opportunity to be able to go and, get to see developers, get to see famous YouTubers, actors, celebrities, all kinds of people, and make new friends. And that was the biggest thing of going to E3, because, let's just face it, for a lot of us, E3 is something that we're used to reading in magazines or seeing, on Twitter or YouTube, where they just show the trailers, and you don't really get to see the other side of the curtain that comes with being there for that experience. And I think it's one of the things that is just so amazing, actually being able to be there and experience E3 in person. It's unlike anything else I can say. And honestly, if you have the opportunity to go, I know a lot of people, ever since I've been back, and even when I was there in California, in Los Angeles for the event, a lot of people were hitting me up saying, man, you're so lucky, man, I wish I could go to E3. And I'm just thinking to myself, why don't you? Tickets are about $250. They may be steep for some people, but I know a lot of people that travel all over the place, and $250, if you travel a lot, shouldn't be much of anything. But the thing is, if you have the opportunity to go to E3, I highly recommend it. It's just one of those experiences that's kind of like once in a lifetime. And being able to go, meeting a lot of my YouTube heroes. I got to meet Harris Heller. I got to meet I made so many new friends. Like a guy I look up to very highly, just some of the most amazing content. And for years I followed him, is GamerThumbTV, aka Fabian. And I finally got to meet the guy, and he's now one of my good friends, and we're texting every other day. And it's an awesome guy. I got to meet him, I got to meet Josh of Your Player 2, got to meet Not Another Game Collector, Tesla Chad, and it was so amazing. It was such an amazing experience that it's one of those things, it's been a couple days. We got back to Hawaii on Monday morning because our flight got delayed. So we got back Monday, and I'm just overwhelmed with the experience. It's like meeting, people you watch on TV, in the case of GamerThumb and Your Player 2, I've watched them, their videos, their content for years, and being able to meet them and just seeing how amazing they are as people. Same thing with, Harris Heller, the Stream Doctor. It's just such an awesome guy, and just having that opportunity, just kick it with him, go bowling, watch movies, go and play games, stand in lines. I even got to meet one of my good friends, Amazing Lucas, for the first time. And a lot of you man, Mekel, you and Amazing Lucas are you guys are like this. Yeah, but we've never met before until then, and now we're even closer friends now than we were before. And it's just the experience. And I want to say this. If you go to E3, and I know a lot of people man, I want to play the games. Oh, who took E3? Was it Nintendo? Was it Microsoft? Was it Sony? Was it EA? Was it this? I'll tell you this, when you're at E3, you don't really care about that bullshit. The only thing you care about is just being able to be around people who care about the gaming industry, who care about new experience, who want to have a good time. And you got industry vets, people who are used to going to these events, and you got people who are going, like myself, for the first time ever. It's just amazing. Being able to be there and experience that. Again, if you can go to E3. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm man, I got to go. It's my first time actually ever in LA, aside from LAX, because typically I go there for training, or, it's like a pit stop, LAX to somewhere else. But to be able to be in Los Angeles, I got to meet a lot of the voice actors and actors and celebrities that I've interviewed on my podcast before. I got to meet, my good friend, Nick Apostolides, who you guys would know as Leon from Resident Evil 2 Remake. I got to hang out with, Ruben Langdon, well, very briefly, but you know him as Dante from Devil May Cry and Ken from Street Fighter. And I got to hang out with, someone I highly look up to as well, someone I I view as just one of the modern day just greats, and that's Gerald C. Rivers, that you guys would know as Major, or M. Bison, rather not Major Bison, M. Bison in Street Fighter. And he's just such a phenomenal guy. I got to have dinner with him and hang out and get to see him and what he gets to do outside of just voicing one of our favorite characters. It was such an amazing experience. And I got to meet the voice of Alex, Mark Whitten, super awesome guy, super talented, amazing guy. Mark, I love you if you're watching this. Same thing, I got to meet the mayor, my boy, the one I love the most when it comes to Street Fighter, the mayor of Metro City, Cody Travers. I got to meet the voice of him, and I've been friends with him for over a year. I finally got to meet him, and it's like we didn't skip a beat. I'm just super grateful for the fact that we were able to just link up like that and have fun and eat ice cream. I got to meet his family. Karen, you're awesome. It's just, it's one of those things. Like, I really had a great time, getting to meet him. And I got to meet, if you guys are familiar with the Street Fighter Legacy or Street Fighter Assassin's Fist or Street Fighter Resurrection, then Christian Howard, who plays Ken Masters in all of those outlets, I got to meet him and hang out with him. We got to walk the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It was just awesome, dude. Super humble, super cool. Got to have some amazing coffee. If you're in Hollywood, I highly recommend you go and check out Phil's Coffee, because that place there's like nothing like that here in Hawaii. I got to meet the completionist, Gerard. I got to meet Metal Jesus Rocks. I got to meet Patrick Seitz and other voice actors. And it's just one of those things. Got to meet Dave Bautista. It was such a phenomenal experience. And it's one of those things. I feel like I'm rambling at this point because I'm like, oh, what did I talk about? As far as the games, how are the games there? I didn't really get to play a lot of things. What I did get to do was I spent the majority of my time at E3 networking. Now, I know a lot of you'd be like, oh man, you could have been playing games that aren't even coming out for a year or years. I'm like, yeah, I could have done that. And a part of me was split because it was my first E3. I'm like, do I play the games? Do I network? I just realized that it was really important for me to get up and go and network and make new contacts. I made a new contact at Alienware, one of the executive vice presidents for them. I got to make contacts with Black Shark, contacts with Lenovo Legion, contacts with NIS America. I actually got to meet the person who sends me review codes. And Aaron, if you're watching this, you are awesome. I got to do that and meet, Doug Bowser from Nintendo and just network with him. It was just one of those things that were just so amazing to do. And it was really amazing for me to walk up to people and they're like, hey, you're that guy with the #1 podcast in Hawaii. I'm like, yo, I'm honored. To hear that. It's just one of those things where, I really feel like when it comes to branding and marketing, you really got to get out and get your name out there. And that's one of the things too, next year, because I'm definitely going to be back. I'm going to bring business cards. I'm bringing about 1,000 or more business cards so I can just network with more people, other content creators, PR people, companies. It doesn't matter. I think it's an awesome opportunity, especially, if you're an up and coming content creator or an established one. It's always great to be able to network further and do more and more great things. And it's one of those experiences. But yeah, I didn't get to really do a whole lot. I got to, I did stand in line for something. I stood in line for Avengers and Square Enix. I'm sorry not to throw any shade at you guys, but I really hope you guys take that back to the drawing board. I know footage of that game was leaked by someone I know. I'm not going to say their name, but we stood in line for almost 3 hours, 2 hours and 50 minutes. And it was one of those experiences where you're like, really? This is it? Because they won't even tell you if you get to play the game or not. But we stayed in line for about 2 hours and 50 minutes to see the devs play the game. The gameplay looked really rough, really just unpolished, and I wasn't really happy with it. But we'll see. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna go out and buy it. I will hold my judgment until I actually get to play the game myself. It looks like, Marvel Ultimate Alliance mixed with God of War in a sense. I mean, I know that's kind of a weird collaboration to think of, but that's the closest I can think of what it's like. Other than that, I mean, there were super long lines. You had stuff like the Borderlands, trying to get in and try to play that. They were giving away t-shirts. Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I unfortunately did not get to play. Because every time I went there, the lines were cut off. Plus, we had a lot of blackouts or power outages there, so I didn't get the opportunity to experience that. But my friends did. You know, if you want to get more experience or more information about that, check out Tesla Chats or Your Player 2s or Gamer Thumb TVs or Adrian's channels, where they talk about the experience of that, because that's something I unfortunately didn't get to experience. I'm hyped for it. Another game I didn't get to try was Battletoads, and I'm a huge Battletoads fan, but I didn't even get the opportunity to go to the Microsoft Center. So unfortunately, I can't really speak on how that is. I heard it was phenomenal from Fabian and from Josh and them, but I didn't get to experience it. But come next year, a lot more prepared for E3 since we know what to expect. But yeah, Lehua and I had fun. It was quite the experience. I mean, I didn't even have to, you guys know I like to work out and hit the gym, hit the weights and whatnot. I didn't even have to do that just because we were walking. I mean, I was looking at my step counter on my smartwatch, and I was just hitting like 4 to 5 times more steps than what I normally do. And I felt it, like my ankles were hurting the entire week. But it was fun. It was worth it. You know, I got to be active and meet people and get new sponsorships, which I have new sponsorships. I'll be announcing those later on this week and, you know, in the coming months. But yeah, it was a fun experience. I highly recommend it. If you guys have the opportunity to go to E3, definitely. If you can go as media, even better. You know, if you can go, if you're a YouTuber or a podcaster or some type of media outlet and you'd like to go, try it. Go for it. And if not, I mean, you can get an industry badge or get like a company that'll sponsor you to go out. I mean, again, thank you to Victrix and PDP for giving me the opportunity, because I mean, that was just a once in a lifetime opportunity I'm super grateful for. But yeah, so with that being said, there are some things I didn't get to do. I didn't get to go to Barcode and, you know, hang out with, you know, the crew there. I didn't get to go to Wednesday night fights. I didn't get to meet one of my sponsors, Rob from Insurgo, just because, you know, time and distance was one of the factors, and where I was staying. We were staying at the LAX, well, not at LAX, we were staying at like La Quinta by LAX, and trying to get from there to anywhere was just a bit of a pain. You're looking at like an hour, maybe 45 minutes on a good day, trying to get in and out or wherever. So next time I'm definitely going to get an Airbnb in town so that we'll be able to get around more. But again, amazing experience. I'm super grateful for that opportunity. PDP, Victrix, thank you guys. Happy I got to meet David from Victrix. You know, I got to meet some other people, some new things coming out I can't speak on right now, but I'll be covering it in the future. I'm really happy and excited for it. And yeah, that was my E3 in a nutshell. I feel like I rambled, but I was super excited. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, if you guys got to go to E3, or if you watched it, why don't you guys tell me what you think down in the comment section below. What are some of the highlights for you? What are some of the low points? And what are you expecting for the rest of this year, probably going into Tokyo Game Show or coming up for the next E3? With that being said, it's Mekel Kasanova, Hawaii's favorite YouTuber, host of the #1 podcast in the state of Hawaii, Kasanova Podcast. I'm signing out. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Make sure you come through for streams every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and occasionally Saturday on twitch.tv/Mekel Kasanova and on YouTube and on Facebook. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Deuces, wow, too sweet, be the elite. I'll see you on the next one.